with Chicken and Pickle, they're going to have a wonderful experience playing at the Chicken and Pickle venues and then continuing to grow the love of the sport that they have for themselves.
And for people who may not be aware, how does collegiate fit in with the Next Gen and the APP Academy, which is also a new feature of the APP?
Well, the Next Gen program is a player development initiative that I started 3 years ago for our promising 16 to 21-year-olds. It's so hard to make a transition from amateur pickleball into pro pickleball. So this is a learning development curve that we've got going on through the Next Gen series, and many of our top college players are also involved with the collegiate program. A Jack Foster playing out of Florida, a Jack Munro playing out of the University of Texas. So you're just really seeing the growth not only from the younger junior side, but also from the collegiate side as well.
And you're seeing Jack Munro on your screen right there in the Navy. Behind him with his back to the camera, that's Will Sobek. That's also been part of that next gen, that next wave of professional pickleball players. Jack Munro, 20 years old from Buda, Texas, as you mentioned, Ken, playing out of the University of Texas. We have really seen him come into his own this season on tour.
This is Jack's second year as far as being a part of the Next Gen national team. We took him to England 2 weeks ago where he played very well, got a gold medal in mixed doubles. He really is making a wonderful transition into the top ranks of the Pro Tour. He really will be one of our top Americans playing in the near future in professional pickleball.
And Munro had himself a great weekend back in New York, captured the gold in men's doubles with Mario Barrientos. This tournament, though, he is playing with Rob Nunnery, maybe one of the most experienced players on tour. So you kind of have both ends of the spectrum. Nunnery, 38 years old, from Florida. And this matchup, this partnership, they're the top seeds. What should we expect to see from the two of them?
Well, again, Nunnery and Munro are going to be playing the rest of the year together, so they've teamed up, and they're going to be a formidable duo for the rest of the season. Again, you have Jack Munro. He's very creative with what he does in all of his shots. He's a true right-handed person in general, but plays left-handed. And then you have Rob Nunnery, who's very tricky. His flicks, his low flicks, his inside outs, it's all a dangerous aspect. But their opponents, William Sobek, Jason Bock, going to be ready for that. They are two creative players in their own.
Well, Will Sobek playing alongside Jason Bock. There's a look at Jason Bock in the black hat with the sunglasses. And we've seen him come along toward the semifinals and the finals as well this year. One of those names that's starting to emerge outside of the Sunday regulars, 42 years old. His home is in Portland, Oregon. And there's Will Sobek. Sobek we've seen on tour multiple years now. 19 years old. Key West, Florida. It's strange to say seen on tour for so many years. He's still so young, but
yeah,
that just goes to show the talent. And anyone who watched the tournament back in New York will remember that it was Sobek squaring off against Munro in our first ever APP shuffle. It went to sudden death. These two, they're friends. They're so used to playing against one another. What should we expect to see out of Bock and Sobek?
Well, Bock and Sobek, again, very creative players, especially William Sobek. And we do talk about William, Ken, about being around so long, but he's so young. But we've seen him since he was about a foot shorter and playing very competitive pickleball. And that's the same thing with Jack Munro. And a lot of people think that Jack Munro just started playing again like a year and a half ago. But Jack was playing before he was in high school. He was the youngest 5-0 pickleball player ever in pickleball. Then he took some time off when he was in high school, played a lot of high school athletics between basketball and baseball, and now getting back into pickleball, and we're glad to have him back. But William Sobek, Jason Bock, don't go to sleep on them. They're here for a reason.
Now, and William and Jack are good friends. William also came with us over to England a couple weeks ago. We've traveled together. All good friends, and that's nice. It's nice that they want to go out there and be very competitive, but then off the court they can establish that friendship.
And I think that speaks, Ken, to the camaraderie and the environment of the APP. You can compete hard and you can respect your opponent, but your friends off the court, and it seems like all of these players, they get along so well once the match is done.
That's a true statement, very much so.
So back into the net, point for Munro and Nunnery to start us off.
Well, right on cue, Jack Munro going right-handed to get that ball.
Dom, we've been in the booth before over the years watching Rob Nunnery play. Out of all the players, he holds the ball so to the last moment on his paddle. You really have to be honed in with where he's going to hit that ball and when that ball leaves his paddle.
Oh, Sobek hit an out ball, was able to get it to the feet of Munro. Are you kidding?
Bock was trying to tell him to lay off this ball. Watch him get on top of this. No idea how, but you're exactly right, Ken. Rob Nunnery holds that ball on his paddle so long, he's so hard to read.
Especially on that backhand side. Oh, what a get. Sobek can't make the backhand, but Munro all over the court. That's ridiculous.
Spending time with Jack over in London, we got there a couple of days early with the national team. Got some time on court with him.
Sobek trying to go to the ATP.
Jack played singles in England, and he's not really a singles player by trait, but he goes, Ken, I've got to keep working on my returns. That's why I'm going to play more singles. I've got to get my returns deeper into the court to help me in my men's doubles.
Body back.
Oh, inside out there from William Sobek. That's what I'm talking about with William, too. He's tricky, too. That little inside out flick. Nunnery leaning heavy in the middle.
Nunnery tried for the patented roll, just sent it long. So Sobek and Bock still looking to get on the board. Sobek able to get on top, goes
William
five-hole.
He definitely saw it coming down.
Yeah, Ken, we see it. As soon as Munro's about to hit that ball, Williams gets in a squatted position, gets that paddle up, and scorpions that right back at Munro.
Second serve.
Yep.
1-2-2.
Oh, what a get. Oh, Sobek going all out for the effort, but it's a side out.
Well, the fact that Sobek didn't get to that means that ball is placed perfectly, because this kid is all over the court here as it comes right into your living room.
You don't get a better look at it than that.
2-1-1.
Missed return, another point for Munro and Nunnery.
Three, 1-1. Good ball. Right foot on the cross point.
Dom, you pointed out immediately.
Yeah, I was confused right there. Jason Bock returned that, and he went sideways right along the baseline on his return. Sobek was up there all by himself. And then Sobek foot faults, too.
Sobek had Munro red like a book.
Yeah, William is really taking the initiative. I know so far this year maybe he's had some mixed results, and when I spoke with William back in the players' tent, I know one of his goals has been to have more of a presence on the court, trying to be more of a dominating figure.
Point.
into the tape. Another point. Ken, I want to go back to your points about the English Open, because William went with you as well. And, you know, the conversation outside of the APP Tour, a lot of people want to know when pickleball is going to be in the Olympics. That has to come with a grassroots effort, and the English Open, a big part of that as you guys continue to grow the game.
That's so true. The other federations are growing, and they're starting to establish themselves, starting to establish national governing bodies, which is so important. 2,000 players in the English Open this past year, and we saw players from Germany, Spain, Australia, India, all competing.
They love to see the growth of the sport both nationally and internationally. Humana would like to recognize Tim Model for the Humana Human Care Spotlight. Tim helped APP founder Ken Herman launch the first APP Chicago Open and has dedicated hours of service to helping with all the event operations since the APP's inception. When not playing pickleball, Tim coaches youth football and baseball, as well as serves on the board of directors of the Leukemia Foundation of South Florida. The APP and Humana are incredibly appreciative to Tim and all of his hard work.
Tim cannot be more appreciative of all the work he has done to help promote pickleball in the Chicagoland area. As an ambassador of USA Pickleball, he has been just a leader in this whole area here, and we're very fortunate that he's been involved with the tournament as long as he's been, every year.
And if you've been here in Highland Park, you'll see Tim. He's your first stop when you get here, telling you, yes, you can come in the parking lot, or no, you cannot. And with Dorian's look, Dorian was not allowed on day one.
I was not allowed today either. So 2 of 3 days.
Tim is. He's strict.
And he likes a nice golf cart.
I'm going to need a golf cart from where Tim's making me park. How did Munro reset those balls?
Well, his hands are off the charts. How soft his hands are to just reset that nice and easy. And the key on the ATP reset is just not panic. He does not panic, and he stays within himself and doesn't do too much.
Side out.
So Nunnery puts it into the net as Sobek and Bock able to earn the side out, but they find themselves trailing by 6. Here in game number 1, our first of 2 men's doubles semifinals. Nunnery pushes it long.
Yep.
Okay, we know there's lots of exciting things happening on the APP Tour. We talked about the English Open. We'll talk about what's coming up after this point. Just long. Ken, why don't you tell the people at home what's coming up in October, the new exciting event that we have on tour?
Well, we have the first signature event in all APP All Women's Open presented by the James. This will be the first tournament on APP that I will not be serving as the tournament director. It is a women, all about women, women empowering women. From the grassroots amateurs to the pros, senior pros, our champion pros. A unique tournament.
Nunnery being absolutely abused by the net cord in that point.
What's it take to win a point around here right now? I mean, these guys just going at it. You don't see many of these hands battles in the men's pro doubles level because they all know that they can match each other's hands.
You will see lots of them at the women's event in Columbus coming up in October. Visit the app.global for more information on that. It's going to be a great event.
And Melissa McCurley will be acting as a tournament director for that event. So the tournament will be in outstanding hands with Melissa in the realm of that. And I'm looking forward to going there and being a guest. I can be a guest at the event.
You will not just sit back, Ken. I know you too well. I posted a picture of you yesterday. You cannot sit still.
Oh, Sobek slides it down the line. And all of a sudden, he and Jason Bock have found a winning combination.
And just like that, Dom, the momentum has changed a couple of points.
Yeah, it shifts so quick in pickleball. We talk about that. We've seen it on championship court on the women's doubles semifinals, and now we're seeing it here in the men's. It was 7-1, 5-0 run from Bock and Sobek.
Side out.
Bock can't make the pickup. That does snap a 5-0 run, but Bock and Sobek right back in it.
He just didn't get down for that ball, and he was a little bit off of his line, it looked like, Dom.
100% right there, and Jason knew it too. As soon as he hit it, he was turning around, knew he missed
7-6-1.
Chad better watch out. Ken is coming for his job. Nice placement there from Munro.
He pushed again.
Yeah, such a good spot right there. And Munro holding the ball on his paddle too long right there. Kind of getting Bock to commit to the left.
8-6-1.
Oh, miscommunication there on the lob.
Well, Sobek called it real early, and I think if he just let Jason Bock get behind the ball like he was, but he was already committed.
Oh, there's the Rob Nunnery roll.
It's the mixer, right?
That's where he holds it. That's exactly where he holds that ball.
Yeah, Ken, you hit it early, and this is it right here.
But, folks, how wonderful if the crowd's been here in Highland Park.
Oh, my
We're bringing
gosh.
professional pickleball, but there's outstanding pickleball all throughout the grounds here.
Well, Ken, we cannot let you go before talking about USA Nationals that is coming up in Mesa in November. You talked about the partnership with USA Pickleball, now with Nationals. What is that for the APP, the sports? Can you summarize what that is for the tour?
Well, the Nationals is really what I consider one of the 4 big Grand Slam tournaments right now here in pickleball. And with APP and being the official Pro Tour partner of USA Pickleball, we're providing these golden, elusive tickets that everyone's trying to get to earn their ticket or their pathway into Nationals. Nationals this year is going to be in Mesa at the beautiful facility at Legacy, a wonderful stadium court. And all players will have the opportunity to go there. And it's really proud that APP has been the recipient of many of those players getting into that event. I know that I'll be out there supporting many of the amateur players and just following them on their journey from maybe they got their golden ticket in New York or Sacramento or Newport Beach, and now they're going to be able to take themselves through there.
We talk about beautiful facilities, and we've been to Mesa numerous times, Ken, with the APP, and we love it out there. Well, let's talk about just a little bit about the brand new beautiful facility in Fort Lauderdale, the Fort.
Oh, the Fort.
Exactly.
We cannot wait.
He lights up about it.
Anyway, the Fort is going to be just an outstanding venue, 43 courts, of which 14 will be dedicated, a stadium that seats 1,300 players in a sunken bowl, a premier arena all within itself.
That will be our final major of the year coming up December 11th through the 15th.
Great reset, Dom.
Incredible.
Oh, Munro tapped Ernie to take game number 1. What a battle that ended up being, Ken. Thank you so much for joining us here in this first game of our men's doubles semifinal. It goes the way of the top seeds. Don't go anywhere. There's still plenty more ahead here from Championship Court. You're watching the Zimmer Biomet APP Chicago Open.
pickleball for exercise, competition, or to hang out with friends. What your reason is doesn't matter to Gamma. What matters is that you play, that you enjoy playing with passion, and you have so much fun you can't wait to play again. At Gamma, we offer paddles perfect for all levels, including yours, because pickleball is about you, the player, and what feels right. Pickleball is your game. Make Gamma your paddle. Play to live, live to play. Gamma Pickleball.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour.
"16 years from today, Greg Gerstner will finally land the perfect cannonball. Unsuspecting friends? Check. Epic water displacement? Big check. A work of art that's only possible because Greg is already meeting all these same people at AARP volunteer and community events. They'll keep Greg active, involved, and mischievous, and help make sure his happiness lives as long as he does. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
Welcome back to Championship Court. Let's take a look at the good idea game point from game number 1.
Yeah, right here, it's the last point, and it's a great read here from Jack Munro at the end. Look at this, just a little punch Ernie and ends it, and to add insult to injury, he's shaking hands on their side of the net because that's where he ended up. Great move there from Jack Munro.
Jack Munro showcasing his bag of tricks in game number 1. We saw a lot of elongated rallies, a lot of hands battles, which are unusual, but that just speaks to the talent of the 4 players that are on the court.
Oh, Sobek ends up, it's a yard sale outside of the sideline right there. Takes out 2 of the partitions.
Nearly took out his dad, Rosti.
Paddle ends up in the front row, and he missed the ball.
Listen, the one thing you cannot do is fault the effort of Will Sobek.
No. He just ran out of room. That's what I'm going to go with.
Nice side out.
0-0-1.
Oh, we got it.
So did Munro.
Oh, my. No.
Second serve.
Nunnery says, you know what? I can run into the crowd, too.
I mean, if you think that Rob Nunnery doesn't got it in him still, look at this. Sideline, it's a sideline. To recover to this ball here. Wow, almost had that. Mixer.
Sobek gets the winner to earn the side out, and I'm not sure you'll see 3 consecutive points that are that good that don't result in a point on the scoreboard.
Right, exactly. We're still 0-0 here on the scoreboard.
A winner of this match advances into Championship Sunday. This is our first men's doubles semifinal. Munro and Nunnery took game 1 11-6. Munro smartly lets that one go.
Well, again, old rule of thumb, chest high, let it fly, and As soon as that ball gets chest height on Munro, he brings that paddle down, lets that ball go.
Just overshoots the ATP. Couple of out balls hit in the middle of that rally.
Well, right size, wrong shape right there for Jason Bock, as he had it dialed in but goes long.
Nunnery tries the ATP, just can't bring it in.
Zero, zero, two.
0-0-2.
A little off-pace flick there from Jack Munro. I think he had William Sobek a little off balance, thinking that he was going to pull the trigger on that. He pulls the string, goes off pace.
I mean, how hard is it to defend, though, a player like Munro that does have so many weapons? Nunnery admits that was a double, so side out.
Zero, one, one. Point.
Munro getting a little big. 1-all.
Nice counter there from William Sobek off the speed up from Munro.
1-1-1.
Oh, last second conversation. Oh, Bock cannot believe he missed the forehand.
Upset with himself. Throws his hands in the air.
Was not waving him like you just don't care.
Set myself up for that one.
You did.
I totally did.
I think the only thing that is Nunnery slides that backhand inside the court. I think the only thing you and I did was just show our age there.
Yeah, completely. Well, nice little 1-2 combo here from Nunnery. Starts it with the forehand mixer, but then is ready for the counter and then just goes inside out, backhand down the line.
1-1-1.
Still 1-all here in game 2.
Second serve.
Nunnery can't make the pickup. Second serve coming.
1-1-2.
Sobek, much like Bock before, can't believe he missed the backhand. I think that's the loudest I've ever heard William be in the last 2 seasons.
100%. Nunnery was just laughing coming back because he knows William really well, and I think he was shocked at the words coming out of his mouth too.
Point.
Went for the body bag. Nunnery biting the air as he and Munro take a 2-point advantage here early on in game number 2 after taking game number 1. Timeout on the court. We will step away as well for a word from our sponsors.
less is more, unless it's less beer.
Cat tire.
Welcome back to Championship Court. Jack Munro staying loose, practicing some paddle taps there on the edge guard. Listen, if you have not yet, go to Jack Munro's Instagram and just watch the ridiculousness that are his practice shots. It's ridiculous.
Thing of that is, right, Jack does that for the gram. Okay, I'm going to say that right there. Because when he plays, he's very conventional. He's not trying to do too much, not trying to be too tricky. He doesn't bust all that out in matches.
You got to do it for the gram.
Oh,
that's what the gram's there for.
100%.
Bock finally puts it away. Extreme angle backhand.
Yeah, nice job right there from Jason Bock, getting on top of that and putting that down to the sideline. Yeah, Munro's not a guy you want to see at your local park playing rec, because he will.
In rec ball, I would absolutely pull those shots out.
Oh, he would. Be like Harlem Globetrotters of pickleball.
That's why you need the exhibitions. Great hands. Oh, Sobek tried to save it with the scorpion, couldn't bring it in the court.
That's just, I mean, on strings. Rob Nunnery and Jack Munro had Sobek on strings and skates, pushing him off the kitchen line numerous times. And then Nunnery just goes body
on the left, thank you.
Right at him, jams him up, and nothing Sobek can do.
1-3-2.
Why is going into the body on Sobek so effective?
It's center mass, right? It's the hardest part to get out of the way and hard to get your paddle up and in a good position to do anything with it.
Point.
Goes up on Munro, closer to that shoulder, not able to get it over the net, so a point for Sobek and Bock.
2-3-2.
2-3-2.
Side out.
So Sobek and Bock able to get one, but cannot tie it up at 3. A side out.
3-2-1. Second serve. Three, 2-2.
Backhand flick through the middle for Sobek.
So here's what I'm seeing a little bit of from William Sobek. He looks a little tired right now. He's looking a little drained. To see hands on hips right now too. During the point when he wasn't getting to a ball or getting the hit ball hit to him, he was standing straight up. Now he's got hands on knees.
2-3-1.
He's winded right now.
You think the little woo at the end was to try and pump himself back up?
Yeah, 100%. Give me a winded William Sobek 10 times out of 10 right now, because right there, he did not look like he was winded at all in the middle of that point, but
to be 20 again.
Right?
3-3-1.
I mean, I'm only a couple years older, but still.
In dog years.
Point.
Gate coverage there from Bock, and it earns them their first lead of the afternoon, 4-3.
Good 1-2 combo there from Bock. He goes speed up down the line and then
4-3,
finishes in the middle.
Second serve.
Right there, no legs underneath that shot right there from Sobek.
4-3-2. Point.
The issue right now when Nunnery goes to speed up and do that mixer from the backhand side, William Sobek's pinching middle, so he's ready for it.
5-3-2.
5-3-2.
Side out.
That ball just long right there.
So Bock
There's a video
asked
challenge available.
our umpire whether or not she saw it in or out.
Referee,
She said the
timeout.
call stands. We will have a
Puts the
timeout
score
on court
and
as
side
a
out.
video
5-3-1.
challenge is coming.
We're going to video
Melody
review.
Woodsum, our lead referee. Mel is from around the Chicago suburbs. I've known Melody for about 10 years now. Her and her husband Greg Woodsum.
Correction,
Kathy
the video
Hudson
review
and Joey
puts us at
Jones are
3-5-1.
other officials for this game. It's Joey Jones who is the review official, so he'll be taking another look at this ball.
Our video review. Only line calls are reviewable here on the APP. It must be a rally-ending shot. Players have unlimited successful challenges, but 3 unsuccessful challenges, and you are out. No more.
And regardless of how this call ends up, this may be a good situation for Will Sobek. You mentioned he was looking a little tired, looking a little winded. Now he gets an extra timeout, try to get in that shade, get those legs back underneath him.
Well, 100% right here, even if it is, you know, not reversed here, as that ball is close. Looks like it may have caught the back of the line, but again, tough for us to see from here, but it is a good timeout regardless of whether it's in or out, but William Sobek is somewhere finding shade right now.
He's underneath the umbrella next to his dad, Rusty, in the far corner.
That's a close call to the naked eye. I initially thought it was out.
Well, I initially thought it was in, but we all know that my eye cannot be trusted. Might as well be Angel Hernandez back here looking at line calls.
She done?
I dropped a baseball reference for you. Didn't even appreciate
I saw
it.
the Angel Hernandez. We're just not even going to talk about him.
So Kathy Hudson relaying the call to Melody.
Here we go. Here's a good look from the sideline, or on the baseline. Oh, that ball, again, to me, but who am I, looks just out.
You think that looks just out?
Yep,
Okay.
right there. If that's
So
me.
explain to people watching at home why you think that ball is out.
Oh, my goodness. That is such a good shot. I mean, can you hit a ball any closer to the line? For me, I'm thinking it's just out because I'm not sure if the backside of that ball catches the line. That is close.
Is it center court?
See what Joey Jones came up with.
View, the ball was out. The call on the court stands. Sobek and
can't get a
Bock,
high
you have
five?
2 remaining video
Give me one.
challenges.
Right there. I'm 1 for 1 today.
Nunnery and Munro, you
I
have
didn't
3
give an
challenges
official
remaining.
ruling,
We
so I'm
resume
still
play
0 for
at
0.
3-5-1
That was close, though.
with Mr.
That was
Nunnery
very
serving.
close.
You don't get closer ones than that. So the call on the court stands, and because it was 5-3-2, the out ball gives the serve back over to Nunnery and Munro, trailing by 2 here in game number 2. First time they've trailed today.
We'll see if there's a momentum shift here. Gave William Sobek about a 4-minute break here, and I said he had hands on his hips, hands on his knees, looked a little winded. As the breeze continues to pick up here on Championship Court.
And the breeze may actually be something that is beneficial to the players. It's not overwhelmingly hot, but it's surprisingly hot today. There's no cloud cover here on Championship Court.
It's called humidity, Dorian.
I know the difference between hot and humid. It's not that humid. We've had worse. I know this is summer in Chicago.
We've had worse.
Bock off of the edge guard, but I want to know how Sobek kept that ball on his hip from hitting his body.
Yeah, again, just great movement, good footwork. Keeps his body moving.
4-5-1.
Forehand pulled just wide off the paddle of Nunnery. Second serve on the way.
Again, Jason Bock going sideways, uncoiling on the stack. He was going to be stuck at the baseline. That was going to be a tough ball if he could just keep that ball in.
Point.
Bock pushes it long, tied at 5-all.
Off the paddle of Jason Bock. It's going right for Nunnery's head, and Jason Bock screams, "Sorry, Rob."
Correct.
He did not mean to go at his head, but again, it's the surprise backhand mixer from Rob Nunnery.
Side out.
Nunnery not able to clear the net cord on the backhand. Side out. Tied at 5.
5-5-1.
Good effort from Bock and little fist pump from Nunnery.
They'll take it.
Yep. And Nunnery and Munro have not had to face more than the minimum so far today. They got through their first match 3-6, and then dispatched Barrientos and Paylette 6-2.
Point.
Jason Bock going full lineman positioning right there. Get underneath that ball. Little football reference. Week 1 of college football season.
That's right.
Point.
Well, it was who was able to get on top of that ball right there, and it was Sobek and
Mr. Bock is serving. 7-5-2.
7-5-2. Bock and Sobek trying to force a winner-take-all. Game 3.
Side out.
Not sure if anyone caught that Michigan fan in the stands. Our producer, Hank, in the booth right there is a big Michigan fan. Found the one other than me, Michigan fan, in the stands.
Those who stay will be champions.
Hit the ball.
And yes, they will. And that ball right there is a redo because the ball clips the tape, bounces, and then hits the crossbar. So it is a replay.
And it's unfortunate for Sobek and Bock because that ball had so much English on it. Munro wasn't getting there even as fast as he is.
Oh, that's so good right there. And like Ken Herman was in the booth with us for game one. He talks about how Rob Nunnery holds that ball on his paddle so long. He holds it so long that he had William Sobek commit to the middle, and then he just flips it backside.
6-7-1.
And it really speaks to how good Nunnery is with it, because everyone on tour knows that that's what he does, and he's still able to be effective. So, Dom, that's the second time that we've seen both Sobek and Bock go after an offensive lob. They both ended up in the exact same spot. Whose ball should that be?
It's tough because right there I'd rather William Sobek take that because he's got the angle, right? He can see and track that ball the whole time because the ball's going over the head of Jason Bock. So I'd rather William Sobek take that.
7-7-1.
He's got a better angle for it.
Sobek goes back through the middle. They hit all the parts of the court and got the winner in the meaty center.
Well, Nunnery was air traffic control in the middle of that because as he comes back over, watch this. He's screaming at Munro to stay, I got cross, and then he goes just a little too hard. And Sobek finds the middle.
Get up, Jack Munro.
Former basketball player right there.
Showing off the hops for sure.
Throw that down.
Listen, in Chicago, if you're going to go basketball, you got to go MJ, game 6.
You're going to say anything else, I swear.
There is nothing else to say.
Exactly.
Bock trying to go backhand flick, finds the net cord. And all of a sudden, Munro and Nunnery 2 points away from taking this match as Bock and Sobek take a timeout. Earlier this week, the APP hosted Misericordia at Danny Cuniff Park for a special clinic. Misericordia offers a community of care that maximizes potential for persons with mild to profound developmental disabilities, many of whom are also physically challenged, and has deep roots in the Chicago community. Please join us on Sunday as a part of Misericordia Day at the Zimmer Biomet APP Chicago Open. And to learn more, visit theapp.global.
Growing up in the suburbs of Chicago, my middle school and high school used to work with Misericordia, and we used to do Misericordia Days as well, where we would go and volunteer. So absolute incredible organization and what they do to help individuals that have that need is just absolutely incredible. I always really enjoyed, working with them, at that time. So it was so much fun. And it was great to see them get involved here at the Chicago Open with pickleball as well.
You are at 9, so you're serving on the left side.
Back to play here in game 2 in our first of 2 men's doubles semifinal. Munro and Nunnery 2 points away from advancing to championship Sunday. Coming up next, CJ Klinger and Will House will face Max Manthau and Eric Lang. That's our second men's doubles semi.
That's going to be a good match.
Not least of all because 3 of those players squared off in Newport Beach as Sobek pushes it long, and it brings up match point for the top seeds.
Sobek, you're receiving. Yeah. 10-7-2.
Nunnery finishes with flourish. The top seeds end it on an 8-2 run. They are advancing into Championship Sunday. They take it in straight games 6 and 7. We will be back with our top seeds here on Championship Court when we return here at the Zimmer Biomet APP Chicago Open.